Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another off the board layout for you guys today. And today we are scrap lifting on a Saturday, and I have had this pinned up for a little bit and also have been a little bit intimidated. So I picked out a couple stamps, some All in Create stamps, and then this stamp that we received from Kathy over on the ship. This All in Create stamp is available in the Some Assemblage Required shop, as well as this one here. I absolutely love these mixed media stamps that are from All in Create. I just think that they are absolutely perfect for the backgrounds. I also picked out these Everywhere chipboard frames. I'm going to try to start using at least one of them up because I have a ton to use. Picked out a couple other pieces based off of what, I think her name is Nami, you guys. I think that's how you say it, Nami McCulley. And I basically decided she created a cluster here, she created a cluster there, and so I picked and chose my pieces based off of that as well. I'm going to be using this photo here, which I believe was also from Kathy Carr. I just absolutely loved how she happened to get a photo of another cruise ship while we were on cruising. I have a couple rub-ons from 49 and Market, and then this rub-on sheet here from All in Create is also available in the scrapping Some Assemblage Required website. So I have some pink note sprinkles that I'm going to try to use because I honestly did not have the same powders and things that Nami has for her layout. So I'm just sharing with you guys the colors that I had picked out. I have to say the orange, the mango madness or whatever it was called, definitely was disappointing. It was more of just a darker yellow. So I wasn't really into it. Now I am using Close to My Heart White Daisy cardstock. And I have to tell you guys, normally it does not soak in like it's doing right at this very moment. So when it starts to soak in like this, I just go with it. And I am dabbing and splashing and doing all the things. I have to tell you guys also that this is not the brush I would have used. For some reason, somewhere in the move of the office space, craft space, workshop, whatever you want to call it, I am missing a ton of stuff. All of my paint brushes have disappeared. All of my 1-inch sponges for painting have disappeared. I mean, everything has disappeared. I was also disappointed in the blue that I started to use. So I splashed around that Bermuda Bay, I think is what it's called. And it's this emerald green. I did not want that one bit. I loved the green that we ended up using, but the blue I was just so disappointed in. So I went to my Brusho crystals and pulled out this blue here. Again, not the blue I am looking for, you guys. I really wanted a bright, vibrant blue, like almost as vibrant as the green that I am using. I'm going to splash in a little bit more of that mango. Again, was hoping for an orange, did not get an orange. You guys, I just was disappointed all the way around. I don't like how, if you see my colors just made ringlets within my water spots, I am definitely disappointed in that. I just don't like how it looks at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I sprayed the rest of my layout where I was done watercoloring, because I wanted it to dry flat. And so I just basically sprayed it. I allowed it to dry on my craft mat without any help, without any heat or any type of drying tool at all. And it did dry fairly nice. I reactivated my colors that I used within my my acrylic block for stamping, and now I'm just splattering and splattering and splattering on top of the colors so I get those pastel colors as well as the lighter colors. Now clearly, if I would have used gesso, which I absolutely hate gesso, you guys, I don't know what my deal is on gesso, but every time I use it, I end up getting streaks, and then I paint on it and I have streaks, and then I just cannot get gesso to work the way I want it. If I use a paintbrush, I have streaks. If I use a silicone spatula, I have, or not spatula, but a silicone brush, I have streaks. I mean, I don't know, you guys. It is awful stuff. So I choose to not use gesso and to mix and match my colors the way that I did. However, I just was not super excited about the color choice in my crystals, in my pigments, because of the fact that I was going off of their lids. Like, I have not done any sampling of the cards to remind me that, Bermuda Bay is not the blue I was looking for. All right, so I decided to also pick walnut stain. Again, as soon as I stamped the first one, I was like, oh man, that's super dark. I did not want it to be that dark. I am just going for it, you guys. I so far I don't like it. I really do not. But hey, keep going, right? That it's all that there is to do it. I just don't really have anything else to say about, whatever. I'm not ready to give up just yet. I'm gonna just keep on going and see how it ends up. And whatnot. And so for this stamp here, I'm not really sure why it ended up stamping a little bit lighter. I'm using the exact same ink pad. Am I not pressing as hard as the other stamp? Is it more distressed? I don't know. So I ended up with a lighter color, which I absolutely love. And then I'm going to stamp the smaller sets, with the smaller pieces. So when I do random stamping like this, I always start with the largest stamp minus the compass rose that I started using. I really didn't think that it mattered about the compass rose because I knew that it was going to be on top of my random stamping. But yes, this stamp set, one of the All in Create stamp sets, has these really cool small, medium, large, and microscopic little stamp sets, and they were perfect for building the directional design that I was going for. And then I pulled out this little stencil. It was a part of a kit club, you guys. I have absolutely no idea, but I was looking for more of a circular global stencil. Oddly enough, I don't own one. I thought I did. I remember seeing one. Who knows? But I do know that I just could not find anything. I could not find anything that I was looking for. So this one was as global as I could find. Did a couple spots, and now I'm moving on to the rub-ons. And the rub-ons are going to give me that blue and that orange that I was looking for, just not in the quantity that I was looking for. I also didn't want any of the alphas, so I'm going to go ahead and just basically ignore those. The All in Create rub-ons, these aren't stencils, these are rub-ons. They are not like 49 and Market to where they're basically just clear stickers. I do have to put a little bit of elbow grease, and it could also be because I'm trying to get them on a mixed media. I do not know the answer to that, but I do know that I had to put a little bit of elbow grease down in order to get them to transfer onto. Now, I have to say that they were a little on the sticky side, but the transfer part, depending on how much I wanted transferred, is where I had to do the rubbing, if that makes any sense. So yes, if I was to have just treated them like they were my 49 Market, used the tip of my fingernail, I would have got a little bit of transfer, but not what I was looking for my specific areas, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down and where I wanted them to. I did pull out what's called a wayfinder, which is really super cool. It's one of those little electronic screens it's like a super giant iPad that tells us, what speed we're going, what what destination is next, where we're headed right now, or whether or not we were docked. Each day it changed, telling us what the weather was outside, just all sorts of cool information. And to be honest, I did not notice it until about day 3. So for this photo here, this one is not mine, and then the second day's was not mine, or I should say this is day 2, and the third day's is not mine. So I didn't notice it until day 4. But it was a super cool board, and just the neatest little thing ever. And so I am glad that a couple people on a Facebook group shared theirs, to where I was able to at least get the second and third days. And then I have everything except for the day that we left the boat as well, because that was a total chaos. Now, I haven't cleaned my glass or my acrylic block yet, but don't worry, the ink is facing up. It wasn't on my photos. Looked like a hot mess there for a hot minute. And then I'm going to take the 49 and Market rub-ons with the rope feel, and I put one on the right side of my page, which you really can't see unless you're looking at it up close and personal. And then I'm going to take another one and put it over on the left. I just really thought that this photo was super cool about cruising. And then, of course, Monday, February 19th, we cruised to our first port. So this is I want to say this is the port of Nassau that we were headed to. And I really do, yeah, it says Nassau, Bahamas on there. It tells us the temperature. Depending on when this was taken, it would tell us, what our cruising speed was and all that good stuff. And so I tried to, once I first noticed the board, like I said, this one is not my picture. Once I noticed the board, I tried to get it early in the morning before we had docked, so I can, get the cruising speed and all that stuff. So that way each board has something different other than zeros. So just like Nami's layout, I am definitely going to try to recreate the clusters. Clearly I'm not using the same collection. I'm not using the same elements, but I tried to mimic and match what she had going on. So I really do like how they all mix and match. And in the end, you guys, even though I wasn't too keen on my mixed media and my stamping and all that good jazz, I really do end up liking how it looked, obviously, because I finished the layout, right? I love all the little bits and pieces on the layout. I love the rub-ons, which actually added the color I was looking for perfectly. It matched beautifully. So, I guess the takeaway from this is just keep going. If you think you've already ruined it, there's no harm in keeping going. The only difference between Nami's that I did not do was add some texture paste to the layout, so which I am just perfectly fine. I really did feel like I got the main design off of it, even though I had a couple blooms and whatnots that I really wasn't interested in. But I still really like it. I still really like how it turned out. All right, you guys. So that is my layout for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. As usual, I will have all the links down below. I'm even going to link Nami's video down below because that way you could see how she created her layout. I mean, it is just gorgeous, you guys. It really is. So anyways, thanks again, and I will check you out later. Bye.